So Mariah gets mad at you.
Lesson 1, statistical questions. Our target is going to change. It's 6SP1. Recognize the statistical question as one that anticipates variability in the data related to the question and accounts for its answers. So our I can statement is I can identify and explain why a question is a statistical question, and then I can write my own statistical question. So you're going to put that under the target and the I can statement on the top of your note packet, and then hit play.
So what makes a statistical question? A statistical question is a question that can be answered by collecting data that's going to vary. So that's the key word, is the word vary, meaning you're going to get some different answers for it. So there are 2 requirements for being a statistical question, and this is the big piece for today. The first is something called variability. How many different responses your question could have. We don't want something that's just a yes or no question, or there's really only one correct answer to it. We want something with some variety to it. So we usually aim to have between 3 and 10 different possible answers for it. So variability is how many different responses you can get. The second requirement is the population. Who are you asking the question about? You want to be specific about who you're asking. You don't want to just say, who do you think? Because then we don't know who you're talking to. Is that one person? Is it a whole group? Is it the whole building? Is it the whole world? We don't want to be generic. We want to be specific. Maybe it's 6th graders or students at Trower or the people in your family. You want to be specific about who you're asking the question to.
Basically, if you're going to take a survey, your survey has to be to a certain amount of people because you're going to have to graph it. So you want to keep that population limited, but you want to have some votes or answers to your question. And then you want to have some responses. You don't want to graph 2 items on a bar graph. So we're thinking about making a question that you can actually graph.
So let's give these a try. These are already written there in your notes. We're going to talk through them and decide yes or no, are they a statistical question, and then give a reason why they're going to be.
So who was the first president of the United States? That is a 1. If you asked 10 6th graders that question, you would get different answers. So
you wouldn't get different answers.
You wouldn't get different answers. Well, that means they'd have to know the answer to the question. George Washington would be the answer. So is it a statistical question? The answer is no. It is missing what? Is it missing variability or is it missing population? In this case, it's missing both. So no, it's not a statistical question. Explain the reasoning. Variability and population are missing.
So there's no variability. There's only one right answer. And they're not specific about the population.
There'd be one big bar on a bar graph or one full circle on a circle graph. Pretty boring.
So we have no idea who they're addressing this question to. Yes, you need to have your explanation written down, not just a yes or a no.
Your turn.
Next, what is the favorite kind of music for 6th graders at Trower? So the first thing I noticed is they were specific about who they're asking the question to. They specified the population. Next, we look at variability. Are you going to get a variety of different answers? I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody isn't going to like the exact same 1 or 2 types of music. You're going to get a good variety. So this one is a statistical question. There is variability, and they were specific about the population.
Good. How many students are in 6th grade at Trower? Well, the population is there. 6th grade at Trower is pretty limited, so the population is there. How many students seems to be a 1 numeric answer, don't you think?
Yeah, either you're right or wrong, but there's really only one answer to the question.
No, this is not a statistical question because it's 1 numerical answer, no variability.
And get used to using that word variability. Be able to speak the language of statistics here. Next one, how much time do the students in my school spend on the internet each night? So we're specific about my school, so we know
there's population.
Whoever is asking the question, we know what school they're referring to. And it says, how much time do the students in my school spend on the internet each night? I know there's going to be some students who don't spend any time on the internet. I know there's some students who spend all of their time on the internet. So we know there's going to be a lot of variety or variability.
So you get all the yeses. I see how this is working out.
So this one would be yes. They were specific about their population, and we can expect some variability in our answers.
Okay, for the next 3, we want you to try them on your own. Press pause, do all 3, and then press play to see if you're correct. Here we go. What is the height of the tallest water slide?
Hopefully you had enough time to pause there before she started again.
Oh, I haven't given you the answer anyhow. What is the height of the tallest water slide at Wild Rides Water Park?
That's a mouthful.
It is. And the Wild Rides Water Park is pretty specific, so that kind of...
Well, this one I would have to say is going to be a no. Basically, all you're going to do is you're going to look at all the water slides.
I'm not to that. Yeah. Do we have populations?
No, because we don't know who they're asking.
Okay.
They're not asking anyone a question. They're just asking for one specific piece of information.
So no population or variability.
So there's no population. They're not telling us who they're asking.
That's my question.
And there's really only one answer here. You might be wrong about your answer, but there's only one correct answer. You just look up which one's the tallest and give us the height. So there's no variability in our responses.
All right, since you took that one, I'm taking the next one. How many toppings do you like on your pizza? That's you. One answer, one population. That's a boring graph. You. So no population.
So we're going to say no for the population.
And again, it's just numeric toppings. I like 2 toppings. I like 4 toppings. So this.
But you would get some variability there still. So there is some variety in terms of their answers. So in this case, you would get some variability. Maybe some people just like cheese.
Like, I wouldn't get it. Yeah, there you go.
So there is variability, but they're not specific about the population, so we would still say no to this one. It has to be both of them.
The favorite colors of my family members. Yes, family members, population.
So my family members, so I know who I'm asking.
Favorite colors, variability,
We
unless
should
your
get some
family is
variety
boring
then.
and y'all like the same thing, so it's...
So for the average...
There you go.
So for the average family, there should be enough...
The answer is yes.
I can't talk and write at the same time. So this one we would say yes. There's variability. You're going to get a variety of different colors, unless it's a really boring family who just likes white or brown or whatever it might be. And you're asking the members of your family. So there's several people you're going to be asking, and you're specific about who it's being addressed to.
I like that one. All right. For the next 2 problems, you're going to determine the number. They're going to give you a situation, and you're going to answer the question by coming up with a statistical question. Remember, you need population and you need variability. Don't forget those 2 things. So you're writing 2 different questions for 2 different situations, making sure that you have the population and variability. Get creative. Bring them to class. We'll go over them. See you later.